What if the universe's greatest teacher was also its greatest trickster? What if the God who confuses you is the same one who leads you to truth? Tonight we walk the ancient roads of Yoruba legend, where fate is a riddle and wisdom wears a mischievous smile. This is the story of Eshu, guardian of the crossroads, the messenger between mortals and the divine, the one who turns left when the world expects him to go right. Some call him deceiver, others call him chaos. But the wise know, without Eshu no prayer reaches heaven, and no destiny can unfold. Prepare yourself, for this is not a tale of good or evil, but of the delicate balance between them. This is Eshu at the crossroads of time. Long ago, in the city of Ife, there lived a scholar named Oluwo, a man so wise that even priests sought his counsel. He studied the patterns of the stars, the secrets of divination, and the sacred verses of Ifa that told the story of creation. But wisdom can turn to pride. Oluwo began to believe that even the gods could be understood. And if they could be understood, they could be rewritten. He declared before his students, "Fate is not divine law, it is mathematics. And I, Oluwo, have found its formula." The city whispered. Some were awed. Others trembled. For to speak of mastering destiny was to invite the attention of Eshu, the keeper of paths. That night, as the scholar wrote his grand equation by lamplight, a wind blew through his hut, and the flame flickered blue. When it steadied, a stranger stood at his door, a man in red and black, with eyes like burning coals, and a smile that knew too much. "You write as if time obeys you," the stranger said softly. "Shall we test your theory?" Eshu appeared not as a god, but as a wandering traveler with a twisted staff and a calabash of palm wine. He offered the scholar a drink. Oluwo hesitated, but pride urged him to accept. "Tell me, wise one," said Eshu. "If you can see destiny, then tell me what I will do next." Oluwo smiled. "You will drink again and speak another riddle." Eshu laughed and instead smashed the calabash on the ground, wine spilling like blood into the dust. "Wrong," he said. "You see, destiny cannot be predicted, only walked." Then he bent down, scooped the spilled wine with his hand, and impossibly poured it back into the calabash. It was whole again. The scholar's heart raced. "Who are you?" he asked. "I am the question you forgot to ask," said Eshu. "I am the choice you didn't see coming." He pointed outside. Two roads stretched from the scholar's door. One bathed in gold, the other in shadow. One path will prove you right. The other will destroy you. Choose wisely, Oluwo, for both lead to the same place. But one will cost you your peace. The scholar, certain of his own brilliance, chose the golden path. He walked through fields that shimmered like mirrors, each reflection showing him scenes of his future. Crowds cheering, students chanting his name, temples built in his honor. He saw himself as the man who conquered destiny. But with every step, the reflections grew darker. The crowd's cheers turned to screams. The temples crumbled. And in every mirror, his face aged, twisted, until he saw himself alone, whispering equations to ghosts. Panicked, he turned back. But the road had vanished. In its place stood Eshu, smiling. "You walked the road of pride," said the trickster. "And pride always ends where it begins, in emptiness." Eshu gestured again, and the scholar found himself back at his hut, quill still in hand, ink still fresh. Had it been a dream? No, his feet were covered in golden dust. Determined to prove he wasn't fooled, Oluwo stepped onto the shadowed path. The air grew cold. Time slowed. Every heartbeat echoed like a drum. He saw moments from his past, times he had mocked his teachers, humiliated students, and dismissed faith as superstition. He saw faces he had forgotten, those he'd hurt with his arrogance. At the end of the road, he came to a vast crossroad, for paths spiraling outward like the arms of time itself. In the center stood Eshu, spinning his staff. "Every road begins and ends here," Eshu said. "You call it destiny. I call it choice." Eshu tossed him a piece of chalk. Write your formula of fate, he said. Show me your truth. The scholar knelt and wrote, knowledge plus control equals power. Eshu smiled sadly. Ah, but you forgot the trick. He waved his hand, and the chalk marks rearranged themselves. Knowledge plus surrender equals wisdom. The scholar stared in awe. The roads flickered, one glowing gold again, another turning to ash. Eshu's voice thundered like laughter. Fate isn't written, Aluo. It's danced. And I, Eshu, play the drum. The scholar fell to his knees as the world spun, the crossroads dissolving into light. When the spinning stopped, Aluo found himself standing before his own younger self, a student in the temple of divination, humble, curious, hungry to learn. He tried to speak, to warn himself, but Eshu appeared beside him. Even now you wish to change your past. You see, that's what humans never understand. Time is not a river. It's a drumbeat. It circles. It echoes. The dancer must learn the rhythm, not fight it. Eshu clapped his hands, and suddenly both versions of Aluo, young and old, stood together at the same crossroad. Eshu pointed to one path. On this road you return home and live as a wise man who teaches humility. He pointed to the other. On this one you keep seeking to control destiny, and die lost in your own equations. Which will you choose? The scholar's voice trembled. How do I know which is right? Eshu smiled. That's the point. You don't. The test of wisdom is not knowing. And with that, he vanished into the wind. The next morning, the people of Ifa found the scholar's hut empty. On the floor lay two things: a half-finished scroll about the patterns of destiny, and a small red and black bead Eshu's color. Some say Aluo became a wanderer, teaching villages the humility of choice. Others say he still walks the spirit roads, seeking the place where knowledge meets surrender. But all agree on this: when you stand at a crossroads, and the wind suddenly changes direction, it is Eshu who walks beside you, watching, smiling, waiting to see which path you'll choose. For Eshu is not the enemy of order, nor the servant of chaos. He is balance, the question that keeps wisdom alive. So what does Eshu teach us? That the path to understanding is never straight, that control is an illusion, and confusion can be divine. He reminds us that sometimes the gods don't speak in answers, they speak in riddles. And the greatest wisdom is not knowing what to choose, but learning how to walk once you have. When you find yourself standing between two roads, remember, every choice is a prayer, and every hesitation is a lesson, because in the end, Eshu's laughter echoes not to mock us, but to remind us that chaos too is sacred.